dreaming. But which parts were the dream?
Only 3 days left of summer vacation, so don't even mention that assignment.
But we agreed we'd get it finished today.
Yesterday, I fell off the station tower, didn't I?
You wouldn't be here if you did.
But man, that was a close one.
Stop changing the subject.
Okay already. You win. We'll do the homework. Stupid independent study. So, anybody got any bright ideas for a topic?
Maybe we could study the stuff that's happening to me. You know, the dreams and the guys in white.
Forget it.
Why?
You know, things have been weird with you in the town since the photos were stolen, right?
Well, tomorrow, we're all gonna search the town and find out what's been going on.
Lots of people are helping out.
All that for me? I'll go get some ice cream.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough! It's time for, I think it's the 5th day now. And we are going to do some investigating into stuff going on around town. The 7 wonders of Twilight Town, to be more specific. Now, as you can tell, this is a reasonably long day. It probably would have been slightly shorter if I remembered what I was doing in one of the particular wonders. But we also have a ridiculous amount of cutscenes today. Like, seriously, it's insane. I think from... Oof. It's like, maybe 10 full minutes of cutscene-ish, maybe? It's ridiculous. And I think there's even more at the start of the next part. They just went for it.
The time has come. Our hunt for the 7 wonders begins.
That was a really crap way of sounding Mysterious Pence, like my word.
You twerps aren't gonna scoop us. We're going to the terrace with you.
Hayner, it's not a race.
Well, it is now.
Come on, we can all go.
And so, we head to a brand new area of Twilight Town, and it's going to be pretty damn sweet. Also, I really like the inside of this train. It's really very fancy.
Colette, hurry!
The ridiculous thing is that they're hurrying and they're not going to get anywhere.
Aren't these
We're
the
going to get
steps
all
you
of the
talked
things
about?
first.
The ones that count different going up and down?
Actually, it's the stupidest thing ever, but
What?
Rai's the one who counted. He's like, every time I count, it's different, you know?
So, he just counted wrong?
That is probably the most likely situation.
No worries.
Like, he is pretty dim. So now we get to run around to the terrace and try and find these wonders of Twilight Town. Now there are multiple kind of item chests around the area. You do want to get them. They aren't absolutely necessary for completing the game. However, you will probably want the extra kind of itemage to be able to make the early parts of the game a little bit easier. Now, something that I kind of want to bring up now, since we have started on their independent studies, it's very important as you progress through education that you learn how to do independent study. Because you get to like degree level and that's practically all you're doing. So you need to get used to it, like, immediately, as best you can. And also, Seven Wonders of Twilight Town is a really decent idea for a project, actually. I mean, I spent the entirety of my summer reading Greek tragedy and the works of F. Scott Fitzgerald, who wrote The Great Gatsby, among other. That's his most famous novel. And writing a pantomime, so I had to do a lot of work this summer. So leaving things to, like, 3 days before the end of summer is a bad idea. Don't do that. Get on with it as best you can. Now, I absolutely suck at this minigame. What you need to do is make it to the wall. Unfortunately, you are going to get hit by things. The way that you are meant to kind of get there is by blocking / attacking the balls to be able to get closer. The frustrating thing with this is that it's so easy to get kind of knocked back. It's just like, for crying out loud, the balls decide to combo you, and it's just like, you're just so evil. Also, I had kind of completely forgotten what I was meant to do, because it's been so long since I played this game. So I completely forgot that I did need to just go and touch the wall, but it's like, it's a reasonably simple thing, but it just ends up being ridiculously more challenging than it should be, really. Yeah, no, it doesn't. I'd say, considering Pence is a very smart kid, he likes to make a lot of assumptions. Like, my word. And Roxas doesn't even say anything. It's like, you've just been assaulted by balls coming out of the wall. Like, how does that match up with, oh, Roxas, you're the one who threw the balls? Weren't you? It's just like, what? No! That is not a thing. Also, now we have to face off multiple VVs. Now, they are basically exactly the same as Vivi was in the struggle match, except there's 3 of them. They really don't take that much to kill. It's practically a hit. And they go down, but kind of... they're constantly respawning until you've finished this segment. And as you can see, there ends up being quite a lot of them. So this can be a slight challenge. But considering they only die in a hit, they're really not as bad as you'd expect. In fact, all of the minigames that you have to do are really not that bad. I'd say the worst one that I did was the first one with the balls coming out the walls. That was terrible. And once again, Pence is just going to kind of glaze over everything. Yeah, these mysterious enemies are kind of just everywhere. Now, we are currently in a bit of Twilight Town that we aren't going to get to explore for a very, very long time. It's slightly frustrating because it's just like, I want to explore. Why won't you let me? But nope, you aren't allowed to. Not for a very, very long time. But we are scooting through these wonders quite nicely, and they are all technically wonders, and they're slightly crazy, and I have no idea what's happening. But Pence, being the smart person he is, seems to be incredibly sceptical and just kind of shooting down everything. Even the Roxas is seeing that this is happening. This is, like, proper stuff. They aren't illusions. Also, I like that we have a Shadow Roxas fight. It's sort of like battling anti-Sora in Neverland in the first game, except a lot easier because that guy was an absolute bugger. Shadow Roxas is basically just Roxas, but Shadow. So as long as you kind of know what your combos are, you should be able to work your way around him quite nicely. Also, another thing that I haven't brought up, but I do really like, is the sort of... how do I put it? It's the kind of analog fail signal, I guess is what it's the fuzziness that happens whenever we finish the missions, and also that's been happening when we go in and out of all of the memory segments of Sora in the first game. Because while that sort of stuff is kind of gone from modern TVs, this game came out at a time when those old big things that weren't as good were the norm. I think it's CRT monitors. I think that's what those types of TVs are called. But it's pretty like you only used like RGB cables, and everything was quite low tech-ish. And that was the sort of stuff that you saw when you didn't have any channels and things were screwing up. So it's sort of like a slightly messing with your mind, in the way that, like, Batman Arkham Asylum does with the Scarecrow thing quite late on. It's kind of making use of stuff that happens with your TV. And it's also what Parasite... Oh no, not Parasite. Eternal Darkness did. That's it. With it brought up like volume controls and turned it down, and it was all messing with stuff that you saw on those old types of TVs. So if you've never experienced the game before, then you might be slightly concerned as to what's happening, and it's kind of quite interesting. Also, this challenge is so easy. You get on and then literally you just press triangle whenever it tells you to, and you're done very, very, very quickly. Oh, that dog is kind of adorable, if slightly malformed. Also, those eyes are huge. My word, they're like so big! Also, did you guys not see that? That was totally in your peripheral vision. You could have seen that. Are you blind?
You know,
Ah.
that last wonder wasn't exactly wonderful.
I understand. Say no more. But this next one's gonna be really great. Wonder number 6.
We got another lead.
The ghost train mystery.
Everybody knows about wonder number 6.
Yeah, well, I didn't.
Did you find out where the train runs?
You can see it from Sunset Hill.
Yes, Sunset Hill, that place where we just were. And now we have to run all the way over there. But not before I think I decide to do some chest hunting. Because I want all of these goodies. Because this is the only time that we will be able to come here with Roxas. But we will very soon be booted out. Also, I'm sorry, but that is incredibly dangerous. You should not be jumping on moving transport like that. Come on, Roxas, pull it together. Having said that, it is pretty spectacular that Roxas has the ability to, you know, leap onto a moving train. That doesn't happen that often. Especially with teenagers, you've got to be pretty damn athletic to be able to do that. And even though I said he's not quite as athletic as some other people, he's still a super teenager. It's generally the case with Japanese RPGs. All of the teenagers are ridiculously talented.
It'll be here any minute.
I could say Haina, Pence, and Dolette are the only ones who are like normal teenagers, really.
No conductor, no passengers, no return.
We've got to make it to the beach next year.
Yeah, we better get jobs the second vacation starts.
Good afternoon, slackers. What are you doing out here?
What do you care?
I don't. Tell me anyway.
We're waiting for the ghost train.
Waiting for the ghost train. Why does looking at you always tick me off?
I don't know. Maybe it's destiny.
Destiny? In that case, let's be friends. I don't feel like cooperating with destiny.
When have you ever cooperated with anything?
That's the point.
Cypher.
I know. Tomorrow.
Look,
These guys are so dense. So dense. That is one pretty spectacular train. I want one.
Really true. And there's really no one aboard. What's the catch? There's gotta be a catch, right? Then it's real? Let's go to the station.
Yeah, Roxas, I think they think you're crazy. That is indeed one fabulous train.
What?
You'll get hurt.
Huh?
The
Yes,
train will be arriving
you're crazy, Roxas.
shortly.
You should realise this at this point. Having said that, this train's also quite fabulous. It's the only way to describe it, really. Very bright and colourful and ornately designed. It's kind of Tsunoma in a nutshell, really. Everything has lots of bits in it.
A train came from the beach. There was no driver, right?
let's go.
Right?
I don't know why they're angry at him, really. I'd be slightly more concerned than anything, because it's just like, dude, you're seeing
Let's go home and
things.
work on the paper.
The rumors were bogus. The end.
We can still make it sound good if we write about all the work we did.
That is generally how
What
you
about
do
the last
essays.
one? The seventh
You
wonder?
know, you embellish
cares?
things quite a lot.
I do. Come on, Pence.
Whatever.
Roxas,
It's at that haunted mansion.
Guys, why are you all so depressing? Like, I do not understand this one bit. There is, like, nothing. There is no reason for you to be annoyed at Roxas for seeing something that wasn't there. You should be more concerned about his mental health, because, I mean, he's seeing things, he's hallucinating. Evidently. So it's like, show some concern! Just because your findings turned out to be bogus doesn't mean that, kind of, you have to be an arse about it. Like, that's the entire point of, like, scientific research. Scientists kind of create a hypothesis, test it out, see if they are correct or incorrect. If they are correct, then brilliant! That they get to say, yes, I was correct. If they are wrong, then they get to say, well, I was wrong. And they've made progress in something, even if they were wrong in what they thought. Stuff like this is worthwhile, you know? Because if you don't test the waters for things, then you'll never know that it's all okay. Either way, it is pretty much time for incredibly long cutscene time, as we find out about the final wonder of Twilight's town.
You know
This is going to be
something?
exciting, I can tell.
We were gonna check the mansion out tomorrow. It is the most suspicious place.
Right.
Well,
Even
why didn't you
Cypher's
say anything, Pence?
Cypher?
Are you insane?
Painter asked him to.
Ugh.
So, what are we looking for?
Well, they say there's a girl who appears at the second floor window. even though no one's lived here for years.
Roxas.
Namine? This is... me? And Axel's here too.
You are best friends.
Very funny.
Don't you want to know the truth? About who you really are?
No one knows me better than me.
Of course.
But I don't get what's been happening lately.
You know these three, don't you?
Yeah. Sora, Donald, and Goofy. They're from the dreams.
About a year ago, some things happened. And I had to take apart the memories chained together in Sora's heart. But now, I'm putting them all back exactly the way they were. It's taken me a long time, but pretty soon, Sora will be his old self again. The process has been affecting you too, Roxas.
You mean the dreams?
Yes. You and Sora are connected. And in order for Sora to become completely whole again, he needs you.
Me? What for?
You hold half of what he is. He needs you, Roxas.
Namine? Namine. Who are you?
I'm a witch, with power over Sora's memories and those around him.
A witch?
That's what Diz called me. But I don't know why I have this power. I just do. I'm not even sure there's a right way for me to use it.
I can't help you there. It's funny. Suddenly, I feel like I don't know myself at all. I guess I would like to know. What do you know about me that I don't?
You were never supposed to exist, Roxas.
What? How could you even say such a thing? Even if it were true.
I'm sorry. I guess some things really are better left unsaid.
Roxas! Roxas!
Huh?
Did you see her?
Yeah. Watch the window. Closely.
Ah, lame. That's just the curtains moving. There must be a draft somewhere. I'm surprised this old place even has curtains.
Yeah.
Well, let's head back to the usual spot. Hayner and Olette are waiting.
Hey guys, how'd it go?
The girl in the window turned out to be a curtain flapping in the wind.
I figured as much. The report's already done.
All right.
So, wanna go find Hayner?
He's probably at the station. You know, we only have 2 more days together.
Huh?
Summer vacation, remember?
Oh. Right.
Tomorrow, we search the town.
Next day's the fair.
The last day of summer.
Don't say that. You'll give me an ulcer.
Not if you explode from all that ice cream first.